Start streaming.
Start streaming the news.
Oh, hey. We're going to get demonetized.
Oh, sorry. You said news.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's make sure.
Hey,
start
if you
streaming those nudes.
Is it working?
If you go for
Oh,
news,
yeah, we are definitely live now. I see it. We are on the YouTubes.
We are on the YouTubes. Well, then, I guess Hold on. I guess I'll do this.
Hey, everybody.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome once again to a Megapod, actually. I think this is an official intro. Why not? So we'll go around the room real quick. I am Chad Allen, as always. With me are my three wrestling nerd brethren. Rick the Sussman on one side of me here. Zach Romero, the voice of Florida Wrestling, up above me here.
Hi.
The American Dad-ass Jesse Long below me here. He can below me.
We're just not doing phrasing at all.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, phrasing, fuck that. So,
Which is fine because on my screen, which is the one that the stream is coming off of, totally the wrong order.
Perfect.
So, perfect. So, well, that's how it looks for me. So,
That's all that
pretend
matters.
if you're watching this right now. So, gentlemen, we are here to do a infamous tournament episode. Our favorite reason to get together and be ridiculous. And we have the how is it listed officially, Jesse? Do you have it in front of you? Because I do not have.
I do. I have the most universally liked people. Yeah, most universally liked people.
Okay, because I know it was
Start with a ring.
Yeah.
No. That was attempted humor. We'll let it go.
Thank you.
So we're going to do the typical vote through on this tournament. Jesse, I'm going to have you host today.
Oh, God.
Because I am unprofessional and did not print out that list at all. Because I've been working all fucking day. So
It's fine by me.
I got it right here. See, I did this. I did this on my computer where I did streaming, and so I could just look at Facebook and say, "Oh,
Get the plug in, Sus. Come on now.
no, thank you." No,
Onlyfans.com/Sussman.
no, thank you. I am content. But yes, I am glad to be here as well. I might as well do my own intro since Jesse's not going to help me. As Chad already said, I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, made famous from nothing in particular, but I do like to talk on the internet. I am looking forward to discussing our Tournament of Champions tonight, specifically because they are champions and one lady. And that I thought was odd, that all of the most well-liked people on Earth and one actual lady. And I said, this could be intriguing. That said, a lot of really good answers on here, so it is kind of a point.
Yeah.
And interesting enough, that choice is just a random woman. That's it.
That's
It's
right.
not actually anyone
Just
famous.
two X chromosomes.
Yeah. This is the most universally liked white man tournament. Presented by four white men.
yeah, pretty much. So, by the way, Jesse, because this doesn't get to happen very often anymore, I did see you took a swig of something there. What is this episode not sponsored by today?
Not sponsored by Liquid Death Severed Lime. It's delicious.
Ooh.
Oh, Liquid Death getting all fancy with the flavors now.
Mhm.
They're very good.
Some good ass flavors.
Cheese whiz.
So, well, Jesse, why don't you give us the first round matchup?
All right.
We should probably actually mention what the tournament like elaborate a little bit, right? Like maybe.
Yeah, if you want
Where
to.
did we get this from?
Right,
We
Jesse, where did this come from?
we stole it from another podcast, so that's why I hadn't even
Perfect.
mentioned it yet. Some other podcast.
Did
put this up. I was just gonna delete.
What
I was just
a
gonna
bunch of
delete
idiots.
out their logo later and slap a wrestling nerd logo on the front of it and call it a day.
Talent borrows and genius steals. That's what
That's
we've learned
right.
here.
Exactly.
I'm a fucking genius. Then I'm okay with that. So.
I am a fucking genius.
So anyway, it's not round robin, it's all one and done, right?
Yes.
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 And we're not going to rest until we've come up with who is the most beloved, nice person who is famous, I guess in Hollywood, on the
Most
Yeah.
universally
Kinda, sort of.
liked people.
Yes.
A lights can. Oh, it's a Barstool podcast. No wonder they're all white men.
Yeah, there you go. So blame them,
Right.
not us. So let's do
Right.
the first round here.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll go.
Jesse,
I'll do it.
Who we got?
All right, in
Ooh.
our first round, we have the number 1 seed Bob Ross going up against number 16 seed The Rock.
Well, being that The Rock is literally no longer universally loved,
Right.
this seems like a quick one.
Yeah, this one, as much as this is this is the Wrestling Nerds Radio Network, and we do love us some Rock. I can safely say that I didn't have to think too hard about this one, and yeah, I gave it to
will say
Bob.
this, like this request maybe like 12 months ago, you might have some kind of an argument, but due almost entirely to the abomination that was Black Adam, not the movie itself, but how it came to be and what we've learned about it and things of that nature. Dwayne is on the down trend as far as I can tell, and I'm open to anyone who wants to disagree with that sentiment.
Bob Ross never brought back the XFL. I mean,
No, and I am very interested lately. I have been watching very much like a fucking car crash with interested glee the fall of The Rock here lately. I don't know why I find it so interesting, but I do. It is really wild to me that he has taken the tumble that he has here. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
I don't think it's just you. I think it's a lot of things. I think it's the old Batman joke, you live see yourself become the villain, that kind of thing. But I also think it was to quote all the pop culture in the first round, it was also a Thanos thing. Like, was this not inevitable? Like, does anyone stay forever? I guess that's the point of the tournament.
Yeah,
so yeah, does anyone disagree with 86ing The Rock and moving right along?
Well, I was just going to agree with Sussman that if you had this bracket a year ago, I think it would be a much, much tougher call. And I think the reason is because looking back, a lot of The Rock's projects were all about The Rock. Like, what other wrestler was like, hey, I'm producing a new TV sitcom. Oh, really? What's it about? Me, motherfucker, me. Anybody else, you'd be like, okay. But because of The Rock's like kind of vanity projects, most of them were inoffensive. So like nobody got mad at him for doing the Rampage movie and being or Skyscraper, which was like him cosplaying Die Hard. Like nobody, it was just like they're
I
fine.
thought Skyscraper was supposed to be Towering Inferno. Not to disagree with your sentiment, but as a nerd, I have to mention that.
True, but also there were a lot of correlations to it being "quote unquote" dumbed down Die Hard. But
Dumber and Die Hard, Die Hard and Dumber, perhaps.
Yes, but nevertheless, for whatever reason, I guess just too big of an audience, the Black Adam debacle is what really finally turned because enough people were paying attention. Like the Die Hard Rampage on the NES and arcade cabinet fans were not loud enough to cancel The Rock when he was besmirching the greatness of Rampage or Jumanji or whatever. But Black Adam, there was enough fans that were like, hey, this sucks, and you made a lot of promises, and now they're not coming to fruition. And then James Gunn comes in and is like, yeah, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. We're not doing any of that shit. Like, it just finally grabbed the wrong demographic, and now we've all turned against it. Now The Rock is this big punchline. So I vote Bob Ross. I have a Bob Ross story that I want to tell, but I'm going to save for later on in the brackets here.
Oh, look at that! Look at that tease.
It's a tease.
Zach already has what's pissing him off queued up.
So, all right. Well, yeah, I think.
All right,
Bob Ross moves on, and
Bob.
Bob
Ross
Big squash.
moves on. Yeah. He used all of his squirrels to defeat The Rock.
By the way,
The Rock.
By the way, do you,
for himself.
quick question to make this an actual wrestling podcast out of a wrestling podcast here, but do you think The Rock is not doing WrestleMania this year because he's afraid if he comes out during WrestleMania against Roman that he gets booed?
No, not for a second. Not for a second. He's not doing WrestleMania because he doesn't realize what John Cena realized, which is, let me make sure that people. Well, Rock did this at the beginning of his career. He came back a few times. And he was there and he was gone, and he was there and he was gone. I don't think he's ever coming back because that's then he's Hogan. He just comes back because he needs people to remember who he is. And I just don't see that happening. Not anytime soon.
Also, briefly on Hogan, Raw 30 was okay, but man, the second Hogan's music kicked in to start it, I was like, my butthole puckered right away. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Everyone remembers I'm a shit.
Jesus.
That's the entire version.
That's what you wanted to lead with was Hogan, really? Okay. So anyway, Jesse, what's
The next
He loves them some Hulk Hogan, bro.
I don't know why.
Our next tournament match is number 8 seed Keanu Reeves against number 9 seed Mr. Rogers.
Oh, so we're just staying on the left side of the bracket the whole
Yeah, I
time?
figure we go down and then jump over.
All right,
Go down.
that's fine. I'm going to take the under on this one and go with my personal favorite, Keanu Reeves. I know many Keanu Reeves stories, and while I adore Mr. Rogers, I think his seating is entirely too low, and I think he's getting shafted by the committee. But I'm actually going to go with Keanu Reeves. Not that Mr. Rogers isn't deserving, but it is my personal belief that Keanu is just a slight uptick in this tournament.
I found this particular matchup tough because I do like Keanu. I've been ride or die for him since the way back when he was just a punchline. You know, when everyone's like, "Did you hear his accent in Bram Stoker's Dracula? What an idiot!" I was still like, "No, it's pretty good." But that all being said, he was the bad guy in Much Ado About Nothing with Denzel and Kenneth Branagh. So he's a real rat bastard in that. And Mr. Rogers actually had genuine, tangible, positive effects on the world. Like, he helped end racism back in, like, you know, the 70s, and it never came back. When he washed his feet with the mailman on TV. And he went to, didn't he go to either the Senate or Congress to fight for PBS?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
he did some real shit, and Keanu, you know, starred in a sad Matrix sequel that nobody wanted to make, including the people involved making it.
With the sequel, but you're not wrong.
So I vote
also,
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers confirmed like 7,000 sniper kills, or so goes the alleged story.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's just self-preservation to vote for him. I don't care if he's dead. I mean, it's still just
I want everyone to understand that Mr. Rogers was given a 9 seed, which, if I'm very honest, completely disregards the validity of this entire tournament. The fact that one of the most universally beloved humans, period, end of sentence, is like 9 out of 16 as far as I'm concerned, lets you know the level of shiitake mushroom we are talking about here. That said, I agree. Zach's points are very valid. I'm keeping my boy. I'm keeping the baby.
Well, Papa don't preach. Which one of you is voting next?
Jesse, go ahead.
I will. I am also gonna go for Mr. Rogers. I feel like it's not a knock on Keanu, but I feel like the good outweighs the other good. You know, despite the fact that Keanu played a wonderful Batman in DC Super Pets.
He did.
It's just like
Super Pets reference. What the hell?
It's the most recent Keanu movie I've seen.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. I have to. I feel like it was the PBS thing that I had forgotten about, but it was just sort of like I don't know. Am I gonna change my vote to Keanu? No, Mr. Rogers all the way.
I'm going to cement the Mr. Rogers vote on that one, by the way, for basically everything Zach already said.
Now, I will say, I completely agree with Sus that I think the placement on here is fucky. I definitely think overall Mr. Rogers is absolutely beloved, and you can't even play the like, but who remembers Mr. Rogers anymore? They just made a movie about him like a year ago, and a documentary that made everybody cry. Like, he's still in the pop culture.
Exactly.
No,
he probably should have been the number 2 seed, quite honestly.
I was going to say top 4, like without question.
Yeah.
Well, when we come circling around, we are going to have ourselves a battle of the PBS, but we're not there yet. Our third matchup.
Is in a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Keanu Reeves is. So.
There you go.
There you go.
Very close combat fighting, Keanu. But
exactly.
Distance fighting, Mr. Rogers with his sniper.
Our next up tournament matchup, the number 5 seed Alex Trebek versus number 12 seed Jamie Foxx.
I'm just putting an X over this entire box. Like,
like
it's a buy. Whoever's like, no. Jamie Foxx? Okay.
That was like really Jamie Foxx, but
I
we didn't make the tournament.
Not one of the most beloved humans that I know of.
I always felt like he was a bit of a dick. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like
Okay. I get the feeling somebody made this tournament and they went, "Oh shit, there's way too many white people," and
Yeah, but Keith David is right there. And
It's
you just
true.
Ignored the shit out of him. Fuck, Dikembe Mutombo did so much for his country, for his countrymen, for shedding light on issues in Africa. Yao Ming, another guy who brought us an entire culture from China. Yeah, never mind. What do I know?
how about
I believe
how about
that
even if we, depending on when this tournament was made, you could even pick that guy on TikTok, Keith Lee, the food reviewer. Everybody
Yeah,
loves
Keith
that
Lee.
guy lately.
Conscious Lee, Keith Lee, both of them.
I think
So-
all of what you just said further affirms my point. Someone who was making this went, "Oh shit, I need a black person," and that Jamie Foxx was the first person they could think of. And that said, my vote was going to Alex Trebek because it's fucking Alex Trebek.
What did he do, Jesse?
He hosted Jeopardy. He made us all smarter or made us feel very dumb.
You know what he did before that?
I don't know. And
He was a sniper with 7,000 kills.
Confirmed.
In fact, no. He hosted other game shows.
all right,
Yes.
fine.
Card Sharks, to be exact.
He's never the host I remember from Card Sharks, though.
Well, no, not Card Sharks. Memory the memory game. When you flip over the card, and then you gotta guess what the word is. It's on Game Show Network. But look,
Yes,
yes.
like, Alex Trebek is a wonderful icon. But hang on, let me just double check something. I don't see Bob Barker on here.
Who should be the one that's on there, quite honestly.
That's
Because
true.
not only was he a game show host, he did a lot too.
Yes.
He
did a lot
beat
of
up
Barker's
Adam
beauties, that's
Sandler
right.
once.
Right.
That's what he did.
And really, isn't that what we all want out of life? To just
Yes.
punch the Sandman
Well,
in the face.
Here's the thing. I think because when I think of Alex Trebek, I always thought of him as, especially in Jeopardy, kind of snide, kind of like
Right.
haughty, very like he would answer when somebody got something wrong on Jeopardy, he would give them like a judgy look, like he knew what the answer was. When it's like you didn't just make this up, like they already wrote the answers. However, I think Trebek did the ultimate face turn right on the way out, because as soon as he came down with like what did he have, cancer, I think?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was, I don't remember
As
exactly
soon as he
what.
had that at the end and was like, "Hey, I'm not leaving the show. We're gonna get through this," and da 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 da. I think that undid a lot of the sort of sour note that a lot of his career was. So the big face turn at the very end is, I think, why he's made it on this list. Also, it's way past it now, but I was gonna do like a Dikembe Mutombo, like, "Oh, should they have put Jamie Foxx on this list?" No. But that time is like far past now.
That's a good reference, though.
Like
I'm proud
I
of you.
have brain damage or something that I just brought that up again. I'm going to go with Jamie Foxx because Django is great. I don't know.
All right, fine.
That is equally just as good as a reason as anything. Like, again, and for the record, number 5 seed Alex Trebek, number 9 seed Mr. Rogers.
Right.
It's true. So are we going with Jamie
Cool,
Foxx
we got
then?
Some real splaining to do, I guess.
I guess I'm an Alex Trebek answer. Sure.
Chad.
I'm feeling the same way. I'm an Alex Trebek answer only because, like I said, Jamie Foxx has always come off kind of douchey to me. I mean, Alex Trebek came off douchey to me too, but Zach hit the nail on the head with the cancer face turn at the end there, just kind of
There we
pushed him
go.
over the edge. So,
It's either Jamie Foxx. If we don't vote for Alex Trebek, we are pro cancer. That's basically what we're saying.
right.
Okay.
Depending on who gets it.
There you go. Alex Trebek moves on. Coming up in
For
the next
now.
one, this is the hardest one, I think. And it is number
No, it is.
it was hard for me.
Okay.
Bing bong.
Yeah. Because that first one. Number 4 seed Dolly Parton versus number 13 Robin Williams.
Okay, all right. Actually, Fair point, Jesse. You know, yeah, it's tough, but it's all. Say those seeds again, Jesse. I want everyone to hear this.
4 Dolly Parton, 13 Robin Williams.
Dolly Parton should have
at 4.
been 9.
Dolly Parton at 4. Yeah, I agree with Dolly Parton at 4. I think she's top 5 without question. Robin Williams, 13.
Yeah. 3 from the bottom.
Some odd choices, Barstool.
I don't know. I feel like Dolly Parton could have been anywhere between 9 to 5.
We got there, folks.
Son of a
We got
bitch.
Thank you. I'll be here all the week.
Wonderful.
Tip your waiter. Try the veal. So,
Very nice.
thank you.
I'm just mad that Chad beat me to it.
As much as Robin Williams, I think, really, is a lot of our shared experiences, childhoods, comedy, et cetera, et cetera. Dolly has really gotten her flowers lately.
Yeah.
Like, she's always stayed relevant and has always been, like, mostly been positive, but I would say in the last probably, 3-4 years, it's just been, like, all of the internet, all of Gen Z, everyone, I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. There's a weird pop culture thing that now, like, the shared collective angel and devil and on everyone's shoulders are Dolly Parton and Dale Earnhardt Sr. for some reason. It's like, I've seen plenty of shirts where, like, Dolly is deified and she's like the Holy Mary, and then it's always raise hell, praise Dale. So it's like, I don't know how we got here, but I'm okay with it.
You spend a lot of time in the middle of the state, though.
That's true. That's my problem.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna vote Dolly Parton because she has genuinely, beyond just like, hey, good music, given to charity, been like super, super giving, has survived a bajillion years in the spotlight and has never gotten like canceled for anything. Like, she's just good people. She's making a rock album with a bunch of like duets with people and shit. Her and Stevie Nicks are gonna do a song together, and like, what? Everyone's gonna get pregnant. I don't know. I'm just voting Dolly Parton.
I don't disagree with anything he said whatsoever. I just don't think that Robin Williams deserved to be a 13 seed.
Agreed.
He got absolutely railroaded because not only has Dolly Parton been a major celebrity, been married to the same human for like 50 fucking years. He asked when they first got together not to be in the spotlight. Most people don't even know that Dolly Parton is married because of how much she respects his decision to do that. Been married to one person, never had any issues. Dolly is amazing. And also she set up like, I think 3 or 4, maybe more than that, specific charities that only have one purpose, and that's to help underprivileged kids read books. And they send books to you totally free. It's like a USPS library system. It's like Netflix of library system, only it's totally free for kids. And she set that up without fanfare. And great story and true story. When the former guy was in office, he tried to tell her he'd like to give her the Congressional Medal of Freedom on more than one occasion. And each time her response was, "Oh, thank you, but no."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Chad.
I will say, though, Dolly Parton, and I believe I've said this on the IndyCast before, high on my list of women much older than me that I would totally give it to if given the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, you always underperform in that situation. How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not?
There's so much pressure.
So, and absolutely correct on all the things you mentioned about the reading and things like that. I do know stories of Robin Williams requesting on writers to go be in movies that they had to actually hire a certain amount of homeless people to get them jobs and things like that. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. I think he was, like you said, wholly underranked in this tournament. And if I have a choice, I'm actually going Robin Williams.
That's fair. I don't argue that. Robin Williams to me is like, okay, bring the mood down a little bit. Robin Williams passing, as far as the celebrity death goes, is the hardest thing that has ever happened to me, because Robin Williams, what killed him was depression. And if anyone knows me for any amount of time, they know I've suffered with depression my entire life. And to know that no matter how big of a celebrity and how powerful and how well off and how much good you've done for the world, that this disease beat Robin Williams crushed my soul. So that amongst itself was like, I saw that list and I went, man, fuck this. Like 13. Anyway, I needed to add that before we move on. Jesse, sorry to steal your thunder.
No, you're fine. This one is like it's a genuinely difficult one for me because obviously there's all the good that Dolly Parton has obviously done, but like it's really difficult for me to overlook just how pivotal, like how much of a cornerstone Robin Williams was to like my childhood. Like we're relatively around the same age except for Chad, and but
Chad's 74.
I know
He looks great though. He looks great.
He
For
does.
it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Silver Fox. Ow. But you couldn't turn around without seeing or hearing Robin Williams in the 90s, and like there are certain things of Robin Williams content. If I see it or hear it, I just start crying all over again. It doesn't matter what it is. I can't get through Friend Like Me, but for the sake of the tournament, I will give it to Dolly Parton. Because of all the good that she's done.
You're talking about something.
Right.
What was that?
Well, and to Sussman's point, this is a match that should have ended up way later in the tournament. This should have been like we've pared down and this is the final two, and oh man, what a decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
To be in the first go round is just like
It's criminal.
Who laid this out, man? Like,
Yeah.
It's criminal. It's stupid.
All right, so we are going with Dolly. I did when I initially did it. I did go with Robin, but yeah, I'm going to give it to Dolly. As much as it hurts my heart to do so.
I wouldn't hurt other things, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey.
How many more times? How many more times can we?
You guys, I need to let you guys know I would have sex with Dolly Parton if she
Oh,
wanted.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to believe this. What a coincidence! But all four of us would.
Yeah.
Oh my
Very
God,
interesting.
No kidding. Now, when did you learn that?
You know what? On a recent podcast I was listening to.
Middle-aged men oogle older women.
Well, speaking of ogling, the next tournament matchup, it has number 3 seed. Again, number 3? Number 3 seed Shaq.
Wait, can we just talk about this now? To those listening and watching at home, really think about these two choices as we think about the transition that Jesse decided to use about oogling the next.
I'm talking about the second guy.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I mean, I've heard stories about. Anyway.
All right.
I'm not trying to get a healthy dose of Shaq foo.
Okay.
Shaq against number 14 seed Paul Rudd.
Explain to me why Paul Rudd is one of the most beloved men in the world. Anyone, please.
He
I would
actually
say,
seems like a pretty nice guy, actually.
yeah, I'd say he's obviously in the more modern era of the beloved people, but it's again one of those cases of like, even though he doesn't look it, he's been around in Hollywood forever and has yet to be canceled, has yet to be,
I think there's probably
really
also
not a bad word about him.
I think he gets by on perception. There's just this like, oh, Paul Rudd seems lovely. I love and there's all the memes about the fact that he like doesn't age or whatever. But I think it is just that he's sort of like he's perceived as being this wonderful guy, and therefore he must be.
And we've never heard boo about him, which I agree, that's true. We haven't. I just don't understand this. I don't know if I jive with the beloved factor. I don't know if maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on the wrong syllable there, but I don't see this as a beloved. I'm like, oh yeah, no, Paul Rudd, he's great. Yeah, Paul Rudd. Yeah. That said,
he is 14.
my other option is Shaq, and I'm like, he was on Cops, I guess. That was really good with the pizzas.
Yeah, he single-handedly
Imagine one.
saved Papa John's. That's
Yeah, that's great.
So
Thank
does he
God
get
for that.
disqualified for that then?
Yeah.
He gets disqualified for that, but gets brought back for his appearance on Hot Ones when
There
he
we
was
go.
talking a lot of shit, and then he made a funny boo-boo face, and then the internet was like,
I don't know.
"Shaq's pretty cool."
Paul Rudd had a pretty good Hot Ones episode too. That
Also
was-
true.
It's true.
Also
So-
true.
That
Also-
ultimate
Jack's
meme
attempt
of coming
to
from
beat the
that.
one chip challenge is legendary, by the way.
Yes, also true. I like that gimmick of like, hey, I'm gonna do these hot challenges, even though I don't do great with spicy food. But like, I respect that ability of like, let me talk a lot of shit about this challenge, and then just completely fall apart during it. Like, I'm like,
It is
I
nothing
respect
to
that.
me. Ooh.
Yeah, like if Man versus Food was like that, but it was like just somebody who just would take 2 bites and be like, it's just too hot, I gotta go. Like that would, I'm like, all right.
On
I
this
respect
Man
that.
versus Food, Adam Richmond has already tapped out. How about that?
Hey, we didn't even get to the kitchen part, and they're making. He's like, I'm not really interested. I gotta go.
You know what, guys? I ate pizza before I came.
I just wasn't thinking, and
Yeah, I hit
I know
Bojangles
what-
on the way here, guys. I'm just.
I will go upset and say Paul Rudd, but also these two do not make sense. Is LeVar Burton on here?
No.
Of course not. I'm such an idiot.
Why?
yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, right this way. LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Exactly.
Reading Rainbow. We
Right.
got nothing for you.
Sorry, person who's dedicated his life to making the world a better place.
Get back to
Right.
the bridge, Jordy. Sorry, we got nothing for you.
First of all, it was engineering, thank you. He was
That's
rarely on
that's
the
true.
bridge after the
Uh,
first 2 seasons.
I had another joke about something, the Adam Richmond thing, but now it's gone. Now I was gonna make a reference to our show, Chad, and now it's long gone. I'm gonna give it to Shaq because he had the balls to make a gritty remake of Shaq Fu for like the Switch and like the modern consoles when the original game is like the ultimate punchline of terrible fighting games, and I respect that. Plus,
There's
Paul
a
Rudd
remake-
was in one of the really bad Halloween sequels, so fuck him.
One. Oh, I haven't seen all the Halloweens yet. That's on the list.
Yeah, he's Tommy Jarvis. No, that's Jason. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
in one of them, but it sucks.
I am gonna say Ant-Man is better than Steel. So there.
Oh shit!
Big talk.
I didn't consider that. He's right.
I'm also going Paul Rudd on this one.
There we go.
If I'm gonna just base it down to who would I want to have a beer with more, Paul Rudd seems like he'd be fun.
Let it just be known, everyone who's watching, I'm the only one who voted for a black man to move forward.
I was waiting on this.
They've both been eliminated. I'm the only one who voted for one. Let
Yeah,
me know.
Rick.
This is the reason why I brought up Jordy.
Morgan
I mean,
Freeman.
Also, though, in your defense, Sussman, you're absolutely correct. LeVar Burton should have been
Yeah,
on this
absolutely
fucking
should have.
Hey
tournament.
guys, I can't be racist.
Oh, hey, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sidney
Can never
Poitier.
can never go wrong with black pussy. What can we say?
Ah!
I was gonna say,
you sure you want to say that?
It would be funny
Well.
if we did mention what he was doing because then the audio listeners would have no idea why Sussman says he can't be racist. But now we got to black pussy. Speaking of black pussy,
and-
what's the next bracket?
Sussman, I should have my mouth shut on that.
Okay. We have number 6
So many
seed.
lives
Oh.
tonight.
We have number 6 seed Steve Martin against number 11 seed Tony Hawk.
This is not a fight.
No.
Sorry, Coco. I need you to go down. Tony Hawk wins this walking away.
Yeah, skating away.
Maybe someone can help me out here. I am not under the impression that Steve Martin is a relatively awesome dude.
Hasn't
I
he
know
been
he's supposed to be
canceled
an
for
okay
shit?
guy, but I don't know that he is anyone more than just a random human. Please tell me I'm wrong.
Well, he got canceled for the King Tut bit, is what he got canceled for originally.
He got canceled for a King Tut bit that it was like from what?
1972, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I actually, with this one, as much as I enjoy Steve Martin, I kind of go with Rick's assessment of Paul Rudd's entrance in this, of just like, yeah, okay, he's fine. He's a good actor, I guess, but like,
But why are we
unbelievably
here?
beloved? Like,
Yeah.
really?
I think it's that he's sort of perceived as being sort of wholesome. He's like a wholesome person.
Is that true?
I don't know.
genuinely am.
Maybe I don't know. I think it's he hasn't been canceled, therefore, that's it. Like,
well, I think his current, like, basically the Only Murders in the Building show has kind of like rejuvenated him in terms of like him and Martin Short are just like, oh, they're just like your goofy old grandpas. So I think that's why this whole list is very smacking of like doing no research, just who are nice people you can think of, because like Steve Martin is kind of on the list because, like I said, of the TV show. Tony Hawk, on the other hand, I love that he went from like poster child of X game counterculture to wholesome tweets about like, hey, I had to send someone my ID and they were like, Tony Hawk, well, that's crazy. Do you like skateboarding? And he's like, no, I am Tony Hawk. This isn't a coincidence. Yeah. I'm genuinely Tony Hawk. So I'm going to give it to Tony Hawk.
That he's done a lot for that community, but this is not so much me voting because I think Tony Hawk is beloved. It's just he's up against Steve Martin, and I'm going to do this a lot. Again, Steve Martin, number 6 seed, Mr. Rogers, number 9.
Yeah. Exactly. I gave it to Tony Hawk without much thought. Despite the fact that I can't skateboard to save my life, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, and all pursuant spin-offs were a massive part of my childhood. And
programmed those.
Yeah. He changed the world.
Yeah.
I will say I would have voted for Steve Martin because I am a Steve Martin fan, and for nothing more. And Tony Hawk wasn't a major part of my childhood, as it were. Right up until I saw a video recently of Tony Hawk singing Superman with Goldfinger, and then I was like, okay, well, I got to give that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So
there we go. Tony Hawk moves on.
Yeah.
All right, the next one we have is number 7 seed Steve Irwin against number 10 seed Flickagoo Jack Black.
This is not a matchup. Steve Irwin is the number 1 seed. I'm moving on.
Well, again, this kind of goes with the we have 2 different groups of celebrity here. We have Group A, which is like genuinely good people who like either gave to charity or went beyond themselves to better the world, like Steve Irwin and Dolly Parton and Mr. Rogers and et cetera, et cetera. And then you've got like celebrities that like we all kind of like, and that's Jack Black. Jack Black is, I'm sure he probably participated in some kind of music charity after School of Rock. I know that's a thing, I'm sure, but it's just sort of like the internet likes Jack Black. He funny, he make haha, and it's like, okay, well, that's great. But Steve Irwin, though, Steve Irwin dying doing what he loved and like helping animals and shit. So if it's like universally liked, I would say probably Steve Irwin, because Jack Black was the bully in Neverending Story 2. So
Neverending Story 4.
God damn it. Apologies.
the fact that there's a Neverending Story 4.
It's a never-ending story.
It's right there in the name.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that there shouldn't be a 2, 3, and 4. It should just be the one movie never ends.
Well, that's just unreasonable. How will people know what they're watching?
No, what if they had done that? What if that was the ultimate fuck you marketing campaign?
The never-ending story.
They keep making these shitty sequels, but they're all just called the never-ending story.
It's the never-ending story.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
like, is it the same movie? Is this like a flashback? Why don't you go fucking see and find out? Oh, this movie sucks.
It's like, okay, James Cameron.
Sounds like somebody's talking a lot of shit for never having seen the never-ending story.
Yeah. Go in there and go see for yourself. Young Jack Black's in this one.
I just state for the record, Jack Black annoys the shit out of me, and Steve Irwin gets my vote.
Really?
I have never gotten the Jack Black thing, and maybe it bugs me even more because some days I get compared to him, and I'm like, well, doubly fuck you then. So
I can see that.
I think it's
Yeah.
because Chad is like a nobler Kyle Gass, and Kyle Gass
Right.
gets bullied by Jack Black, and that's why you have resentment towards him.
I have also been compared to a Gas as well, actually.
Yeah.
So
Slap a guitar in your hands, and there you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
sadly, I can't play otherwise.
Oh, that's a great gimmick. So I could be that 3 weeks that Jack Black was thin, and Chad can be Kyle, and we could do like our own riffs.
There you go.
Yeah, I would totally be for it. So
Tenacious
Now
D
Cotton
minus.
have it- That's 3 cats that have now interrupted the show.
Good.
There we go. Well, crikey, Steve Irwin goes on.
There you go.
Hey. And then our final matchup in this misbegotten tournament, we have number 2 seed Danny DeVito against number 15, one from the bottom, number 15 seed Brendan Fraser.
So, again, we're gonna stay for the record that the listing of these participants very questionable.
Yes.
And again, this does feel very much like who could you think of off the top of your head, not doing any kind of research, because like Danny DeVito has been a meme for a very long time. But this goes back to these are two different circles of beloved people, because like Danny DeVito and Brendan Fraser are both in that circle of the internet likes them.
Yeah.
Like for different reasons. Danny DeVito, thanks to, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, has become this like wonderful, weird icon. And Brendan Fraser is becoming like the ultimate comeback story and la-di-da-di-da. But neither one of these guys are like, and then one of them saved children from a burning building. Like, they're just like, the internet thinks they're great.
Danny DeVito
If
couldn't reach.
I can dovetail off that for just a
Yeah.
moment. Both of them have very important stories. In the filming of Matilda, it is famously known that Danny
Thank you.
DeVito took the young woman whose name I now can't remember. because
Mara
I suck
Wilson.
at these games. What is it?
Mara Wilson.
Mara Wilson, and literally would take her. He and what the hell? Who was he married to?
Rhea Perlman.
Would take her out to dinner and out to like fun little events because her parents were dying of horrible cancer at the time, both of them or whomever was left, and they went out of their way to like really like shield this young woman. And she's come out many times and said, no, you don't understand, those are good humans, those are great humans. And just speaking exactly to what Zach is saying, what happened to Brendan Fraser would have destroyed most people and did destroy him. And he said, well, it was really horrible what happened to me. Anyone see this behind me?
Yep.
Real quick?
I just now saw that.
Great. This is my life in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have this deep, like, meaningful
Right.
conversation. Cap on.
And the feline Babadook is standing right behind you. Yeah.
Oh, get that La Parka mask.
want to be a luchador.
Anyway, I think Brendan Fraser speaks to the great possibilities that we all have as humans. And I think that Danny DeVito shows that being a celebrity doesn't mean. Why is Rick Moranis not on here? Like Rick
Sure.
Moranis is universally beloved for a lot of reasons. But again, like somebody basically just shat this whole list out and was like, this will be cool.
No.
I got to make a choice though. I side with Brendan Fraser more than Danny DeVito, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Similar to Chad's reasoning on the last one, although Sus, you brought up excellent points for both these actors. Similar to Chad's reasoning for no Jack Black, I'm going to vote Brendan Fraser because in high school I was told I bared a striking resemblance to a Brendan Fraser uglier brother. And so I'm going to go with that. Brendan Fraser gets my vote.
Lyndon Fraser.
See, the
Yes.
funny part is I had that whole Matilda story loaded, locked, and ready to go, and Rick beat me to it, which is why I'm voting for Danny DeVito, was for that reason alone. So
Remember, everybody, I just pretend that I'm a big dumb moron. I actually have a lot to say. It's called a mask, everybody, and it helps with the autism.
Yeah. Masking is great, huh?
Also, big shout out to fidget worms. They were
Yeah.
great.
There we go.
It's actually
Jesse, are you going to actually vote, or are we just?
I was watching Rick play with his little wriggly worm.
It's a slug. It's
Bing bong.
I'm gonna go with Brendan Fraser. That was just one of. I looked at it and I was just like, I have to. It was just sort of like a knee jerk. They're both seemingly wonderful people. Yeah, I kind of. I think it might be recency bias because everybody loves Brendan Fraser now. That's probably why he's on the list in the first place.
Let me bail you out just for a second here. It's not necessarily recency bias because he's going up against Danny DeVito. So it's not like you're comparing Brendan Fraser to Jordy LaForge, Jesus Christ, LeVar Burton or something like that. You're comparing him to Danny DeVito, who is a weird guy on a show and was a nice person a couple of times, evidently. This is not World Beater. Like, it's not Galactus versus Mechagodzilla. This is not really that big.
And neither's Danny DeVito.
Hey, got him.
All right.
Little ass.
Circling back around, we have our first final matchup. We've got Bob Ross, the number 1 seed, taking on the number 9, and nobody has a problem with that seed, Mr. Rogers.
This should be a final.
Yeah.
This should not be
this should be Final Four. This should be the Final Four at minimum. Yeah.
I am going to give this one to Mr. Rogers. Now, I love Bob Ross. Bob Ross is sort of like, as a artistic person, I have like this, I have this massive affinity.
You mispronounced it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. I'm always just put, like, Bob Ross is like white noise for me. I will put on Bob Ross in class, just, to have on as the background for the students. But I think Mr. Rogers has done more good, and as we're probably gonna have to do in some of these, I'm having to do less of a less of a addition and more subtraction. And I know, as much as I love Bob Ross, he also cheated on every single one of his wives, of which he had several.
Well, and also,
the
other thing with Bob Ross is, so much of his pop cultural standing and things like that does not come from a great place. Meaning, like, the bajillion and one Bob Ross shirts are not from, like, the goodness of his heart. It's because he has children who are money-grubbing assholes and are like, we're going to just make as much money off of our dead parent as we can. Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, my 2 favorite Bob Ross memories are the episode where his son, who looks just like him, like he's cosplaying as Bob Ross.
Don't get me started on Steve Ross.
is reading prompts to Bob as Bob is painting a picture that is including all of these prompts, because they're questions from the audience. So they're like, how do you paint fucking sycamore trees? And Bob's like, oh, okay, well, you do it like this and da-da-da-da-da. And my favorite part is he's like 3/4 of the way done filling up this canvas. And then his kid's like, oh, next question, how do you paint a river? And he's like, well, really wish you would ask me that question earlier, because we could have really planned for that here, but I guess we'll just put the river over here. But just to see, like, genuine dad anger of just like, you asshole. So that's number 1. And then number 2, there was another episode where they were reading like fan letters, and they were like, oh, Bob, you've helped me learn, and da-da-da-da. And there was one from like a housewife who was just crazy horny for Bob Ross. Like, she was just like writing like, oh,
and how
Bob,
could you not be?
You're so inspiring, and you're damn handsome too, or something like that. And he's like, thank you. Anyway, here's how you paint this boulder. Like, he was just very
thank you very much. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Like, bitches be thirsty for Bob Ross. But that all being said, I'm still gonna give it to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Why is bitches be thirsty for Bob Ross not on a shirt?
Don't say that too loud. His kids are already gonna make it a mouse pad.
You could. if you could sell that shirt in 4X, I would wear that.
Bitches be thirsty for Bob Ross.
Bitches
There
be
are
thirsty for Bob
thousands
Ross.
of internet fake shirt design companies that are now going into net.
Yeah, yeah. The Twitter bots are all over this already.
Twitter bots are losing their minds right now.
Here's a link to the shirt
Did you mean this?
original.
Right.
Can we name this episode "Bitches Be Thirsty for Bob Ross"? Can I request that?
I'll write that down.
Somebody write that down.
Yeah.
And it would have to be like super 70s Bob Ross with like the Hunter S. Thompson like tinted sunglasses and stuff.
Hell
like that.
yeah.
That's a great look.
Yeah, those
I
early
just
episodes
wanted
of Bob Ross.
eyes almost
Sorry.
completely shut, waving at us, and instead of a paintbrush, it's panties.
Yeah, exactly.
My choice for this matchup of Bob Ross versus Mr. Rogers is fucking Mr. Rogers. That is
Sus, I hate to correct you. I think you mean the battle between Mr. Rogers and registered pussy destroyer Bob Ross. I think it's... Go ahead, though. Go ahead with your vote. I just need to
certified
correct you.
clam nullifier, Bob Ross.
I almost threw up. Oh, my God. Oh, that caught me off guard.
That's it. That's the show, everybody.
Master of debushing the clam.
There we go. There we go.
Good night,
Oh.
everybody.
All right. Yeah, it's for me. This is not very difficult. I adore Bob Ross's work. I loved listening to him as a kid, but he did not do more for the world than Mr. Rogers. The end.
Correct.
I will just say I would have given it to Bob Ross only because my 8-year-old really loves watching Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Piper loves Bob Ross, but
Yeah,
otherwise, you guys are right.
I love Bob Ross. I absolutely just genuinely just love Bob Ross. But, you know, no mistakes, only happy accidents. Mr. Rogers moves on. I'm trying to mark things on my bracket, and my marker is fucking dead. Okay, moving on to our next, whatever, semi-quarter? I don't know. This is quarter, I think.
Sure.
Tournament. We have, this is probably going to be the shortest one on here. We have number 5 seed Alex Trebek against number 4 seed Dolly Parton, and I guess I'm just going to go ahead and put Dolly Parton down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not arguing.
Yep. Exactly. I'll make that a daily double.
Sus mentioned earlier he had an adorable cat behind him, meowing and pawing at the air. My 2 cats are banging on the door like they're my fucking landlord and rent due. Like, Jesus almighty.
How do you think
Just
they
keep
got
hearing
in
this-
here?
Uh-oh. Sussman's getting up.
He's wearing pants, though.
He's showing his own paintbrush. He is...
This is a 5-pound cat-shaped doorstop. And we call him JR because he kind of looks like some of our orange cats. He's
Okay.
Junior. They pushed him aside to get in here.
I'm glad you explained that was a door stopper, because I thought that was just a disciplinary tool for the other cats. Like if they make you mad, if they claw something, you just beat up the fake one and you just keep pointing at them. And
No,
beating the shit out of this fake cat.
That's cat is made up of all of our dead cats.
Oh. Oh.
And they can
I'm glad-
smell it. They know.
I'm glad you told us that it was named JR because it looks like some of the other cats, not because it had Bell's palsy.
That's what I thought too. I was like, how can you tell that it's stuffed with Bell's palsy?
Well, half the face slinks over when I slid it down.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Talk about a pussy destroyer.
Oh,
God.
God. All right, let's move on. Jesus.
The later in the night it gets, the more easily canceled we become.
I was implying that Rick was beating up the cat.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Sunday, so that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah.
Married joke.
Yeah. I was not talking about noted puss hound, good old JR.
Also true.
Yeah.
So Dolly Parton moves ahead.
Dolly Parton does move ahead. Our next
Parton moves the needle for sure.
yes. Our next matchup will be the battle of just acceptable white guys, Paul Rudd and Tony Hawk.
Oh God, what a milk toast lineup! Jesus Christ.
Acceptable white guys. That needs to be that. We need to make a podcast.
Hi everybody.
Yeah.
Acceptable white guy. How you doing?
Acceptable white
That's when
guy.
Chad and I do the show because everybody else has like their own secondary spin-off teams.
My name is Maximus Chanel. That's the American Dad and Jesse's husband. We are acceptable white guys.
Yeah.
Also, the if you two don't make that your tag team name in WWE 2K24, you ain't shit.
I have to actually have a system that can play 2K24 though, so that
I'm just imagining us just being there. We are acceptable white guys.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
This is a deep cut. Does anyone remember the song "Detachable Penis"?
yes, I do.
Okay, acceptable white guys.
Perfect.
Amazing.
All
what
right.
the hell is the lineup? I don't know. Tony Hawk, I
Hawk.
guess. Yeah, whatever. He can do a kickflip over me not giving a shit. I don't care.
An interesting Paul Rudd, I guess. He's Ant-Man. What the fuck? So
Who you got, Rick?
I'll go with Anthony Crow.
That's his goth name.
All right.
Interchangeable white guy number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I am also going to give it to Tony Hawk just because, yeah, Superman's already stuck in my head.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Our final quarterfinal matchup.
Paramount somehow sneaking into the final 4.
Yes, exactly. We have Steve Irwin against Brendan Fraser.
Ooh, that one's actually tough.
I'll go first because it's not tough for me, Steve Irwin.
Okay, fuck the mummy, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen that movie? I would.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. That's true. All right.
Amanda Sante.
I'm giving it to Steve Irwin because Monkey Bone exists.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true. That's true.
I'm giving it to Steve Irwin because he likes it that way.
Okay, there you go.
No, I'm giving it to Steve Irwin because Steve Irwin actually contributed to the zeitgeist in a way that isn't just, hey, I'm a celebrity and I had a bad time.
Yeah.
Like Steve Irwin, I mean, this is going to sound kind of dickish, but Steve Irwin's, he mattered.
Yeah. It's fair.
Put that on his tombstone. He mattered.
We'd have to re-engrave the tombstone then.
You could use a sticky note. Let's not be fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Steve Irwin as well.
All right.
I am surprised that swept. I thought you would go Brendan Fraser.
Not compared to Steve Irwin, man.
Yeah, being a part of the most fuckable cast in cinema history is not the same as like legitimately saving animals.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Of course, when I say that, I'm
sorry.
referring to Looney Tunes Back in Action. That's
Yeah.
clearly what I'm talking
It's true.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying that rabbit had it coming.
Yeah.
He did, literally.
Me too.
I'd fuck a Dalek. Let's be real. All right. Our first of 2 semifinal matches.
Visibly throw up.
Yeah. No, I just saw Jesse, like, I saw him blue screen for a second and then like have to hard reset. And he was like, anyways.
Jesse just gave up with her shit for a second. That's what it was.
Insert segue here.
Jesse's like, how the fuck am I hosting this? How did I get into that?
Jesse had a brain blast and remembered like 10 years ago, like, yeah, no, I think a podcast would be fun. And then like came back.
Fuck. We were assigned 15 minutes, and we've been doing this for 15 fucking years.
Hey Rick, come to my apartment and just scream at my laptop for 10 minutes so I can get an A in this one class. I got a better idea. Why don't we start a whole industry, Jesse?
Yeah.
Really? What's that, Rick? Let me explain. We'll never get credit for it.
Nope.
Don't worry.
Not once. But we made some title
Let me
belts along the
explain.
way.
I'm going to call you a pussy destroyer in 15 years. All over the internet.
Jesse.
Jesse's Rick's gonna have to change his social media names to Pussy Destroyer.
Clearly.
Those days are long behind me.
Follow him on Puss Talk. Anyway, where are we at?
Where are we, Jesse?
Where the hell are we?
Jesse,
Yeah,
God.
right there, Jesse.
All right. We have got our first
Unlike
two.
his wife, he's on top of nothing here.
That's That's all that matters.
Okay, thank you. Must be on top of his hair routine. Look at that silky goddamn hair he's got going right
all
now.
of us are contributing to Jesse's hair. Like all of us are
we're
losing
it's
ours.
just all
Jesse is
flowing.
just.
Oh no, it's definitely going. It's definitely
Jesse's-
going.
Jesse's hair is the
I would say that's a good Dracula Widow's Peak you got going
Yeah.
on there. You add a little volume to that. You got big Dog the Bounty Hunter energy going on. I like it.
Jesse's hair is the picture of Dorian Gray of the rest of ours.
Jesse's hair is actually venom. He lent it to all of us. Now it's slowly
And now
returning.
it's coming back. Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus, Jesse, what the hell's it?
Please, God save us. We can't just be triplet Don Rickles for the next fucking hour. Come on.
Son of a bitch, everybody. It is Alex Trebek versus The Rock. No.
Oh, what? How?
No.
Did the Rock come back? Did he hit somebody with a chair?
The Rock came back the very next round.
Everybody got food poisoning.
But he paid me $20.
No, we've got Mr. Rogers against Dolly Parton.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Four now, huh?
Shit.
Does this boil down to who's more fuckable?
God, I hope not, because it's clearly Mr. Rogers. God damn. Bring the puppets in. Fuck.
He's the mayor of this particular town.
Got a trolley hole he can try to.
That's a neighbor I'll lend a cup of sugar to.
I'm gonna give it
That was too
to.
far.
I'm gonna vote for Mr. Rogers only because even though Dolly Parton's got a spotless track record, she's still alive, and therefore could ruin something.
Yeah.
Like she could, I don't know, stub her toe on stage and drop the N-bomb or something. I don't know. Something could happen. Whereas Mr. Rogers is basically donezo.
Wait, stop. I mean, she does live in Tennessee, so
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it's possible.
there's a chance. I hate to say it, there's a chance.
All right. I'm going to go with Dolly Parton because something Zach said at the very beginning of all this. She's been generationally beloved. There has not been in the 76 years she's been on this earth. That's 7 decades at minimum. She has been here. No one has said anything negative about Dolly Parton beyond the fact that she was a country singer with big boobies. That is a longevity that no one else that I know of can touch.
That's true. It's similar to the Keanu thing. Like, I remember when she was a big punchline.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of come around to like, hey, you show her some goddamn respect. So I get that.
Chad?
God damn it, it's a tough call, but I'm going Mr. Rogers. I think maybe I think Zach might have really convinced me just off the like she could still. There's a chance she could still fuck it up. So yeah, Mr. Rogers.
She could eat shit right before the end zone. We don't know.
So it's down to me.
It is.
Yep.
Oh.
You can either tie it up and ruin it for everyone or go with the obvious choice.
I am going. I am gonna go with Dolly Parton.
Motherfucker.
Son of a. Because
Good night, everybody.
yeah,
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm glad we could end this whole bracket with these two great people. So if it ends in a tie, I'm sorry, what? There's a whole nother fucking thing. This wasn't the end, even though it should have been.
they both move on to go face whoever the fuck is on the other side.
Actually, I was actually going to say that. Can we three-way dance this? Can we advance to
Bernie
both of
Sanders,
them?
he's got a chair.
All right, you know what, Paul Heyman? I'm fine with that. That's fine with me. If you want to make this a three-way dance.
Show the world. I'm good with that. They both win.
They both advance. Fuck
All
it.
right. I was actually going to say we could just turn it into a fatal four-way if we really, really want, because who we have left, it's going to be a bit of a squash, I believe. We now have Steve Irwin and Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that's a squash.
Yeah.
That's Steve Irwin all the way.
Yeah.
Take that kick flip and go fuck yourself.
Making a lot of unhinged T-shirt designs in this episode.
I will buy every single one of them and don't think I won't.
All right. Well,
Take
there.
that kick flip and go fuck yourself, comma, Steve Irwin.
By the way, fullygimmick.com to buy some of these deranged shirts that I
Yeah.
slowly
That in
created.
3 weeks we won't even know what the fuck the reference is.
That's right.
Doesn't matter.
Y'all remember when we did that show?
So now our triple threat is Steve Irwin, Dolly Parton, and Mr. Rogers.
God.
Fuck, we really did just
Hey,
make
why
that
did we
harder.
think this was going to make it easier?
Is there anyone coming down with a chair?
The Rock, but that's a whole other thing.
You know what? You're right. The most universally liked person, LeVar Burton. And that's really the real answer here. Fuck our top 3. It was LeVar Burton the whole time.
It was
It was
always
me,
LeVar
Austin.
Burton.
It was
Yeah.
LeVar Burton
Me,
the whole
God
time.
damn it.
It was me,
Damn it,
Barton.
don't beat me
It was
to
me
this.
all along.
No, I'm gonna vote universally liked. I'm gonna go Dolly Parton because I feel like Dolly is equal parts of both of those circles that we talked about. She's equal parts genuinely charitable and genuinely making the world a better place, and also genuinely entertaining and just something about her. Just something I can't quite put my hands on it, but
Yeah.
All the way around it anyway.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with Dolly Parton.
It's like palming a basketball.
Yeah, I'm also
Well,
going
good,
with
I
Dolly
guess.
Parton.
Goodbye. Thanks
I'm
everybody
gonna
for
go.
watching.
I'm going to go Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
I just feel like there's way too much Mr. Rogers goodwill there to not pick him.
So we're certain LeVar Burton's off the table. I'm just.
That's what I've been told. We had a lot of dirty looks.
But Jamie Foxx is in this. Just ponder that.
Right.
I
He is
forgot
standing in
about
the
that. You know what?
wings.
Can I change my vote? I don't know, man. I'll. Is there a tiebreaker that needs my assistance? Who do we have votes for?
So right now there's one for Dolly, one for Mr. Rogers.
You can be a real dick and pick Steve Irwin and then just make Jesse have to pick a winner.
I mean, I kind of like because of who I am and how much how much of an animal lover I am. Like, I kind of do want to go with Steve Irwin, like legitimately. There are lots of different variations on this shirt out there. That it's essentially the 4 horsemen of wholesome, and it's like, be kind to yourself, be kind to animals, be kind to what?
Where the fuck is Jim Henson in this shit too, by
Right.
the way?
What
Right.
the fuck? Oh my god! Throw the whole fucking thing out.
Or Stan Lee. Where the fuck is Stan Lee or Jim
Tim
Henson?
Curry.
Motherfucker, we need to do a new version of this tournament. Fuck this tournament. I mean,
No,
that-
Start
our
now.
Action at the end of this episode is not going to be who would you vote for. It's let's all shit on Barstool podcast for their
Right.
shitty bracket.
shame.
Makes sense.
Shame.
Shameful.
So, with all that said, the 4 horsemen of wholesome, as I recognize them in my religion, is LeVar Burton, Bob Ross, Steve Irwin, and Mr. Rogers. But
Woo!
Dolly Parton has some sort of intangible. It's Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
For me.
So really,
He's
what
the
it comes down to is fuck you, Jesse. You pick.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
You're the one who came up with this stupid idea.
No, it's Chad's fault. God.
Actually, I came up with the stupid idea. I have to.
It
I
was
will not
actually
leave.
Jesse's fault because Jesse gave Chad the permission to have a stupid idea, and now here's where we're at.
It's fine.
You
Yeah.
gotta be careful with that shit, Jesse. Come on.
Yeah. If you ask my wife, it's my fault.
If you ask my ex-wife, it's usually my fault.
Hey.
Meanwhile, the variants are happily married.
I'm gonna give it to Mr. Rogers. I feel all the good that he did kind of, I mean, it's tough. Everybody in here has done great work. So that kind of nullifies what I just said, but
We're proud of all of you. Big fan.
Right. Yeah. Great job, everybody.
Warm hugs and firm handshakes all around.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Great. What a
For the
great
love of
speech.
God,
Jesse.
someone
You
put
really
that.
landed this
I'm
plane.
begging you.
So, Mr. Rogers, who should have been a number 1 seed or at least a top 3 seed,
Yes.
in my opinion, did
Yeah.
win. So,
Mr. Rogers, number 9. Who did he ever beat? Holy shit, we did it. It only took us 3.5 hours. We nailed
we
it.
actually finished this in like what could be considered one episode here. Are you kidding me?
Barely 90 minutes.
That's downright impressive for us.
And that includes a number of non-secretors and a few cameos by my cats and the porn that Zach has been quickly working on this entire time.
Which I will be purchasing. Hey, Zach, where can I purchase this?
Hey,
It's
great
coming up pretty
question.
Take it out of one pocket, you put it in the other pocket.
Great question. So this weekend, the 28th and 9th, I think, at the Tampa Bay Fairgrounds, there is a super retro convention happening that myself and my lovely wife will be vending. We will be representing Brainbuster Video, and we'll be there amongst all kinds of other weird celebrities and other bits of nostalgia. So coming out there, tickets are available. Super Retro Con Tampa. Be there, and I'll take a picture with you in my little uniform.
You will.
It's a mighty
you will
fine
indeed,
uniform.
and you'll have to take a picture with your 2 nieces who are looking forward to seeing
Oh,
Uncle Deck
wonderful.
and Aunt Luna because we are.
I will tuck the porno behind the table for that photo.
Yes, please. So,
Dad, what is it? What is
Get your
Evil
shit
Head? What is Dad? What is that movie?
Hey, Evil Head or Psycho or Just in Time for Valentine's Day, Wet Dream on Elm Street. Now, anyway,
on.
Sutch,
Die.
where can people find you?
So, yeah, hi everybody. You would recognize me from our very poorly shot Instagram show. Not that we don't try hard, but whenever you have a show on Instagram and you go live, you're only allowed to be vertical, and that
Yeah.
shit's terrible. But
Yeah.
you can find me every Sunday live on Instagram on the Read Pile, reviewing comic books with my lovely wife and partner, Elle Lestrange. You could also find me. That's primarily it, actually. That because it's not Twitter anymore. That's for goddamn sure. But
Yeah.
you can find me on Instagram, Jesse.
You can find me on Twitter at Team Himfist, TeamHammafist. Wow, it's been a while since I've said it. I ain't doing shit much because I got too much going on. You can find me at Full Sail where I work. Come by lab and say hi, and make my students feel awkward because they don't know what the hell's going on.
And for all of us, the WNRN on Twitter. That might be the one remaining thing we have really going on Twitter right now. Also, the Wrestling Nerds title
Yes.
can both be found on Twitter and on TikTok now. The title has moved its way to TikTok, and now it actually talks. It's really fucking creepy. You should go follow it.
Yeah.
And you should follow me at IndieCast Maximus on TikTok and at IndieCast everywhere else. And
I would also say keep an eye on the Twitter sphere at the hashtag WNRNAF
Because it's a trash fire.
Yeah.
But also,
I will hopefully be able to provide some more updates on what the hell that hashtag means. If you actually watch the video, you can probably get an idea of what it is. I don't have any updates currently, but hopefully soon.
See y'all on Hive.
that's right.
Yeah.
See y'all on Bumble. Oh no, that's something completely
Yay.
different. So, Well, everybody, until next time, until our next tournament episode, or whenever we actually are in the same. One day we'll all be in the same building again, together again. I don't know when that's going to happen, but
It'll
we will make it
explode.
happen
The
soon.
building would explode.
Yeah,
Might
well,
have
100%
something to
will.
do with the thing I was just talking about. Hopefully.
True, very true. So, but until next time, everybody, I am, as always, Maximus Chad Allen.
I am the
Sussman, Rick
second.
Sussman.
Oh my god. I'm cosplay pussy destroyer wannabe Sussman. Tell us
Jesse-
your name. Keep going,
Jesse-
Jesse. Don't. That's your turn,
Jesse-
Jesse.
I was waiting for Rick.
Yeah,
I-
I did. I already stomped all over his line.
Okay, fine.
The other's line. We are one unit. That's why we're not allowed to be in the same vicinity of each other.
That's it. That's why.
It's like time count. I am the American Dadass Jesse Long.
fucking variants. Until next time, everybody, we always say.